guys, how are you doing today? This is David Lucas back here again. Welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving my review and thoughts on the Chapter 2 episode of The Mandalorian titled The Child. Now last one was directed by Dave Filoni, and each episode is going to be having a different director apparently. And this week's episode is Rick Famuyiwa. Now, quick synopsis of this episode is that it takes place right after we left off at the last episode. The Mandalorian goes back to his ship only to find Jawas stripping it for all of his parts. He chases after them but ends up losing them, so he goes back to Nick Nolte's character for help. And then they go and make a bargain with the Jawas to get his parts back. It's basically like a rough synopsis of the whole episode. And I gotta say, right off the bat, I loved this episode. I actually think I like this episode better than the first episode that we got, to be completely honest. And I did like the first episode too, which you go back in my first review and see. But this one I actually think was really much more better directed, much more better pace, and an overall more enthralling story, in my opinion. And like as I said before, this one was directed by Rick Famuyiwa, who is a more seasoned director than Dave Filoni. Last episode was basically Dave Filoni's first go at it, directing a live-action Star Wars, or live-action anything. You could kind of feel how it was like that in the first episode. You can feel that it was a first-time director. Now in this episode, you can kind of tell that, yeah, this is a more seasoned director, a director who's been in the ropes before and knows what he's doing. And you can definitely feel from this episode, and I really loved it. Honestly, I don't think there's even really a bad thing to say about this episode, except for maybe, again, it could have been longer, because that's maybe my only complaint about probably the whole series, I think, is going to be, is that I wish episodes were longer. But this was paced really good to where it doesn't really feel that short. So with that one thing out of the way, let me talk about why this episode was so good in my opinion. First off, I just love how it starts out right after the first episode. I really like that. It's a nice transition to where we don't really lose everything. There's not really a fast forward in time or anything. It takes place right where we left off, and it's like you're getting right back in your scene. You're just rewatching again. I like it. I like it a lot, and I think that's a good pace for it. I really love how in the first couple minutes of this episode, there really isn't any dialogue. I think it's like, go like 10 to 11 minutes into this episode, there's no dialogue whatsoever. It's just basically the Mandalorian walking around, fighting some people coming after him, and going off, finding the Jawa, stripping his stuff, and then trying to shoot the Jawas, chasing after them the whole time, and then end up going to the Nick Nolte's character for some help. Throughout that whole time, there's really no dialogue at all. It's just really beautiful directing, and you don't need the dialogue at all. Because I sat there and I knew exactly what was going on. I was really interested in it, and I was glued to the TV just as much as I would have been if there was dialogue. So good on you, Rick Famuyiwa, for directing that beautifully. Good job. I really actually like the fight scenes in this episode. I hope they keep these fight scenes going on throughout the whole entire series, because they were directed and choreographed very well done, and I really liked it. It felt real, it felt grounded, it felt gritty, it felt like it was actually happening, not choreographed. Even though it was obviously choreographed, but it didn't feel choreographed at all. There's just one really beautiful shot in there where the Mandalorian and the child are walking, and it's a very long shot where you see the sunrise going up, and then you just see them, just the silhouettes of them walking. And I don't know, it's a very, very simple shot, but I love it. It just made me giddy. It made me get all like, and excited, because it just felt like Star Wars. And this is just felt like the kind of Star Wars that we needed for a long time. And I'm happy we're finally getting that. Really like that we get some more of Nick Nolte's character. I cannot pronounce his name right for the life of me, so I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name. But I'm just going to say the Nick Nolte's character, the Ugnaught. I think that's what his species is, the Ugnaughts. So you know who I'm talking about. And I just really love that they brought him back. I like that we kind of get some little scenes, montage scene of them fixing up the ship together and making it all better. I like that a lot. I like how we kind of get a little bit of backstory on him, actually. It's not much of backstory, but we get a little bit when the Mandalorian asks him, will you join with me? Will you be my partner in this and stuff like that? And then he looks at him and basically goes, I've spent my whole life in servitude. I am finally free. I don't want to be, working anymore. I am comfortable where I'm at in my valley, but I hope the best of you, and I hope you get all the rewards that you deserve for that child. So it is kind of implanted that, yeah, they're friends. They're probably going to meet up again throughout the series, maybe throughout the season, I hope. But maybe he's not part of him yet. Maybe he's not going to be part of his crew. And that actually is a really good backstory we got of him, where he says that he spent his whole life in servitude. He's finally free. And I really like this. So we kind of have some backstory that he could have been a servant or a slave or something like that when the Empire was around. And we kind of see his people, well, not him, but his species in Empire Strikes Back when they're doing a carbonite freezing. I believe they're the same people. I believe. So I really hope that we get more of Nick Nolte's character. I really enjoy that character, and I love his quote that he always says, "And I have spoken." I love that. I love it. It's awesome, and I really just hope we get more of him. I really love seeing the child using the Force. I thought that was awesome. And yes, I'm going to call it the child because that's what they refer to him as in the show. Oh, that's what I'm going to refer to him as. I'm not going to refer to him as a baby Yoda. He's not Yoda. He's not a baby Yoda. We have yet to got the species name of Yoda. So for now, I'm just going to call him the child because that's what they call him in the show. So that's what I'm going to call him for now until we get a name. I really like seeing him use the Force. I thought that was really cool, really nice touch. He basically saves the Mandalorian while using the Force, I believe, because from what I remember, the Mandalorian looked like he was almost done for with the Rhino chasing after him and everything. He was almost done for. So I believe that the child actually used the Force to bring him back to life and helped him regenerate himself, actually. That's what I actually believe the child did, too. And then it's kind of funny because right after the child used the Force, he just passes out and goes to sleep for the rest of the time. I thought that was really cute. So as a whole, I gotta say this episode was directed a lot better, and I really was paced a lot better. And just as a whole, a better episode than the first one. Even though I did really like the first one, I absolutely loved this episode. And I honestly hope that we get more episodes like this in the future. My still complaint of the show is that I do wish it was longer. It's like 27 minutes long. And I just think that it should be a little bit longer than that. I think it should be at least a half an hour or just 40 minutes long. But I then going in consideration of how much the budget was this show was. This show was like basically a budget. Each episode was a budget of a movie, I think. So I completely understand why is not the budget. The episodes aren't long, but that is something I've been noticing that I wish that was better. That they could have longer episodes. Who knows? Maybe in season 2 we'll get longer episodes. But for right now we have like 27, 28-minute long episodes. So I guess we're just gonna have to deal with that. Again, I can't wait to see where the story goes. I am so interested in this. I think both episodes were great. Both this show knocked that apart. So I am hooked now. I am watching every episode now, and can't wait to see where the season heads. I can't wait to learn more about the Mandalorian. I want to know more of what that doctor's doing and what he's about. I heard that some rumors that he could be part of the Kaminoan clones. Maybe he's trying to clone this baby, perhaps. Who knows? We can't wait to see what they're doing next. Because obviously there were some people out trying to kill that baby. The IG-11 droid wanted to kill the baby. But the doctor wanted him alive for some reason, and we don't know yet. So we're going to find out hopefully in next episode. And stay tuned for another episode review of The Mandalorian coming out probably next weekend when we get the new episode on Friday. See you guys later, and thanks for watching.